Alright, hi everyone. I am working on this cute little mirror today that I trash picked a while back. It's been sitting in my basement. My dog's whining. You can hear that. I just took him for a walk, hence the hat. It's really cold here in New Jersey. Anyhow, I am working on this mirror. It's not really that little. It's quite large actually. You can kind of see. It's got some really cool, neat old details. It definitely has a lot of areas where it's broken. What is that? Not an inlay. Applique. Brain fart. An imperfect, perfect old mirror with some really cool old mirror patina, which is what I really love. I already prepped it with the tape because I don't want to do a lot of scraping when I'm finished, but I'm going to start working on this piece today. My plan is to do a layered paint finish. I want to put milk paint on top of this from Sweet Pickins. I've never used Sweet Pickins milk paint before, so I'm very excited about that, and I want it to reveal the colors underneath. I'm going to use 2 colors underneath, so I might even probably use some sea spray or some salt. I have the Salt Wash brand because this mirror, it definitely has a lot of areas where it's broken, and so that's what we're up to today. That is what we are going to do, so let's get to it. I have it clipped on that. Here I am just putting a base coat on with the DIY paint in Fancy Farm Girl. And up next, I will be mixing up some salt wash to create that texture that I need to fill in the gaps. So this is just a product that I like to use called Salt Wash, and it gives it a really good old world texture. The recommended consistency is 1 to 1, so 1 scoop of water, 1 scoop of salt wash, but you can really play with it and thin it out more or make it thicker. I have it pretty thick here because I really want it to fill in those imperfections and kind of create a uniform look throughout, but you can play with it however you want and can get any desired look really that you want. Just have fun with it. Okay, so you can kind of see it's a lot more uniform now, even though it has a lot of texture. It's okay. It kind of blends it together a little bit more. And I often will use this salt wash as a spackling agent in areas where you have gaps and things like that, just to kind of fill in the gaps, just to make it look a little bit more cohesive without so many holes and gaps. So what I basically do is I'll take some of the sea spray salt wash, get it in the areas where it might be uneven or you might have a seam gap. Like right here, there was a seam gap, but because this material or product makes it so thick, the paint, you can essentially fill in a seam if you need to, a small one, a small gap. So I like to use it that way as well. This will be a real old world look when it's finished, hopefully. Just a fancy detail I thought I would add to the applique just to have it pop a little bit, a little pop of color, carnival red in the DIY paint. Here we are the next day. This is what we've done so far. I have painted with, well, I don't need to recap it all for you, but what I want to tell you is that you didn't see me paint this polyacrylic on it last night. I came back at the end of the day and just put some of this Minwax water-based polyacrylic clear satin coat on here because my plan is to be able to see all of this green paint, not all of it, but I want to be able to see the underneath color green. after I put on the milk paint, I want this to come through. I've been trying to do this for quite a while, a two-tone chippy paint finish, and I have not been successful. So hoping that the relief between the polyacrylic and the milk paint will give me the finish that I'm looking for. It's a satin finish, so I know that things that are shiny repel the milk paint, so I'm hoping that that's what happens here with this combination. So let's get to it.
Girl-Reinventing. Girl-Reinventing. Girls reinventing.
Every day. Every day. What can I do, Tom?
You can take a heat gun or some stripper and get rid of all that gunk.
Yeah, I put that gunk there, Tom.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Of course not to you. Time to mix up the Sweet Pickins Milk Paint with the help of my dog Lucky. All right, after a few minutes of this setting up, I'm gonna just go ahead and go for it. I'm using my 2-inch kind of oval natural bristle brush. I got this a while back. It's an oldie, but one of my favorites. I just like the way it kind of contours on the edges. For me, I can kind of get into areas like that.
What's up, babe?
I'm talking to YouTube.
Oh, you're talking to your people.
I'm hoping that it cracks. I want cracky chippy. Give me cracky chippy paint. I've never used Sweet Pickins Milk Paint before, and it is really thick and creamy. I have to be careful around this wood applique because I don't want all of the milk paint to be on top of that. I don't care if it's messy, kind of like I was thinking of when little girls put on lipstick for the first time and it's all over the place. Not going for that look here, but it would be okay if that happens. I have a set of chairs upstairs that kind of look like that a little bit with the wooden appliques, and I thought at first it was like a mistake, but then it ended up being a happy mistake. All right, I'm switching over real quick to this synthetic sashed, angle sashed, 2-inch sashed, so that I can get the milk paint under here and in the crevices of this applique. I'm gonna distress this too, so I don't really care if it looks a little messy, because at the end of the game here, the end game is going to be a chippy, distressed look. And I really hope that this milk paint chips the way I want it to. Here's a little tip. You can use a heat gun to help the paint dry faster, which helps the paint to crack. We are getting some really cool crackled areas I want to show you. Look at this. See all that yummy crackle? I'm gonna do 2 coats of milk paint on top of here, just to kind of give it a really definitive, rich, creamy white look. But I'm so excited. This is what the heat gun was able to bring out. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more naturally and then see where we're at. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for paint to dry,
It was washed in the living room, in the kitchen, back door washed.
it's been a few hours and you can see it's drying. Well, it's dry, I should say, and we have some nice crackle. I'm so excited. I believe my idea worked. Now, hopefully, when I sand this back, hopefully some of this chips back and you can see the green paint. That's my plan. All right, guys, second coat. Here we go. Look at that cool alligatoring texture. I am so pleased with how this is turning out. Time to seal in all of that crackled goodness. I'm using the DIY brand in clear wax here to seal this in, and then you'll see me use various other colors. After this, you'll see me use white wax, and then I go in for some little bit of grungy detail around the applique with some zinc wax, which is just kind of like a grayish zinc looking patina to add a little bit of extra dimension. Here is the zinc wax that I mentioned previously. I just use it to give it a little bit of shadowing, to add some, faux dirt or grunge to make things look older. And lately I've been using a lot of this moonshine metallic, and this color is called Wedding Bell. I love the little extra sparkle that this gives when you just put it on top. I just kind of finger paint this on and have fun with it. Sometimes I use it all over a piece, sometimes I just use it here and there just for a little added detail. A close-up of the applique with a little bit of that moonshine metallic. And here we are, the finished product. I loved doing this mirror. It was so much fun to add old world texture to something that was just kind of everyday common. The mirror was old to begin with, but now it just looks like it came from another time and place. Hope you enjoyed watching me do this mirror, redo this mirror. This was a total pick that I got from the trash initially, and now hopefully it will adorn somebody's wall, somebody who appreciates the French country or the Parisian style. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy watching what I do here. I try to remake something pretty much weekly, but due to my busy life as a nurse and also a massage therapist and a mom, I never know when I'm going to be uploading. So hit the notification bell, that way you know when I have uploaded something, and I will see you in the next flip, fix, or pick. Ciao.